All right, so in these driving conditions here, I'm doing about 57 to 60 miles an hour, something around there. I'm probably, let's see, how many miles into my trip here? 46 miles into my trip. And another thing, 28.5 miles to the gallon. Coolant temperature staying at about 185, is 88 out. Registering 91 here on my intake temps. So that's not too shabby, and that's what I'm getting. You know, I've been in 4-cylinder mode, so the throttle's not really open that much. Very, like a quarter throttle maybe. Getting good gas mileage, and I'm also, let me get this turned here, and also my intake temps are, a few degrees above ambient. So I believe this mod's doing pretty good. Does it always stay within 2 or 3 degrees of ambient? No, it does not. Sometimes it gets up to about 5 or 6. But as far as just driving down the road, I still have yet to see it rise to 10 degrees or so above ambient. It really hadn't got that high yet. Just driving around, it stays pretty consistent with this Hellcat airbox mod. Also, I assume the lower underhood temps from the thermostat is really helping that out as well. So like now I'm doing 55 miles an hour, 88 out, 91 intake temps, 185 on the coolant temp. The oil temp, I'm sorry, is at 195. It usually stays somewhere around 200 when it's, in the mid 90s out. But so far so good with this airbox mod. I wouldn't really say that I'm like vastly impressed, like, oh my god, it made a huge difference and it's night and day, but I believe it is making a difference. And I think that the Hellcat airbox mod, for the price, I think I paid like 130 or 140 bucks for this thing shipped from Doug Smith Parts on eBay. And for the price of the mod and the results that I'm getting, I'd say doing pretty good. It's better than any other aftermarket air filter that you can buy, or cold air intake that you can buy, that leaves an open element filter in the engine bay. I really don't like those things. They look cool, they sound cool, but they're very, infunctional. They are not functional. They don't really work that well as cold air intakes. Now, I had questions about the LMI that puts the intake filter in the fender. Yeah, I'm sure that does better than this intake. I mean, you'd be crazy to think that it didn't, but I'm not so keen on wanting to cut the metal parts of my car up. I know I had to cut a plastic trim piece to put this Hellcat airbox, but again, at the price point, I think that LMI is like 400 bucks almost. So this right here, price for what you're getting, I still would recommend this Hellcat airbox mod. Okay guys, so on to the thermostat. I want to make sure that everybody realizes that as a guy that I talk to that's on the charger forums that I get on a lot, stated on one of my previous videos, the thermostat does not set the ceiling for how high the temperature can get in the car. So just because you have a 180 degree thermostat does not mean that the car will never go above, close to that temperature. Your fan settings do have to be changed in the computer for that to totally take effect. So hope everybody does understand that, and I'm not trying to say otherwise. I totally agree with that statement. I'm just saying that this car, this scat pack with this 392 Hemi in it, seems to be holding the temperature very well. I've driven this car in traffic, stop and go, back and forth, and yeah, the temperature did rise up, but it only got to about 202, 203, and heck, that's where the factory thermostat just starts opening at. So it's still, helping out. It's not staying, in traffic or when you're sitting there idle, and it's not going to stay right there at 180 that you have it set at. But it will help maintain the temperature at a lower temperature than having the 203 degree factory thermostat in, even without the fan settings being changed. Do I plan on changing the fan settings? Well, hell yeah. as soon as I find a good reputable place that can do tunes on 2018s, I plan on getting the PCM unlocked and doing the tune, just like a lower mid-level tune, nothing too crazy, and change the fan settings. And I do have plans on cat deletes on the car as well, so I'd have to get the rear O2 sensors cut off. I'm just showing you my results on this thermostat. Results may vary. It's over 90 degrees, 92, 93 degrees, 94 degrees, and it seems to be maintaining the temperature fairly well even without changing the fan settings. I'm getting cooler oil temperatures, cooler coolant temperatures. Even the trans temp doesn't go as high as what it did before with the factory thermostat, and that has something to do with it not sitting there at 215 degrees all the time, then in traffic 220, 225, so this thermostat does help. I do recommend this thermostat to folks, and it's helped me out. I have not got a check engine light. If I did start to get check engine light, well, I just put the factory thermostat back in or go and buy that 192 degree thermostat, but I haven't experienced a check engine light yet. So anyway, that's my thoughts on these two things. Hellcat airbox, that's just an update on it, and an update on this 180 degree thermostat here. Hope everybody's having a great week so far, and I hope you thumbs up this video and you subscribe if you haven't already.